School shootings happen at an unnerving frequency in America, which has endured at least one fatal school shooting every year over the past quarter century. That's according to multiple sources, including the National Center for Education Statistics and the K-12 school shooting database. Meanwhile, schools are being bombarded with another disturbing trend: receiving threats like the one that shut down Ritzville schools just this week. A majority of them are hoaxes, but all of them have to be investigated just to be sure. In a special report tonight, our Jordan Smith takes an in-depth look at how schools are dealing with these threats and how this reality has transformed our schools' safety.
Yeah, well, Derek, it's been 6 weeks since a 14-year-old opened fire at a Georgia high school, killing 4 people and injuring another 9. But in the weeks that have followed, another trend has begun to surge. Thousands of hoax threats being made on social media to schools across the country, including here. The excitement of a new school year for students has once again been overshadowed by the threat of gun violence. In the last 2 weeks, police arrested a 12-year-old for bringing a loaded gun to Shaw Middle School, and 7 days later, a 14-year-old was arrested for making threats against a teacher and a student at Lind Ritzville High School, mentioning the use of a large caliber rifle and a bomb.
You can't really put it in words, though, the things they have to deal with.
Aaron Wood serves as North Central's head football coach and the campus safety specialist.
Morning, Wendy.
He's a liaison between the school and Spokane Police.
All right, get to class.
He spoke with us about the surging number of threats the Spokane School District has received and the trends that they're seeing with each one.
Most of the time, they won't even attach a name to it. They'll just say, hey, don't go to school on Monday. Or Thursday, I'm shooting up the school. And they'll send that out. And again, we have to take them very seriously.
Since the school year started, the Spokane School District has responded to 13 different threats. The Coeur d'Alene School District, 5. Wood says that these threats rarely turn out to be credible, often coming from overseas or in a different state. But given the frequency of gun violence incidents in schools, each one has to be investigated to the fullest extent possible, a taxing obligation for school officials.
It is a drain. It's 12, I think, in the last week, just of these unfounded, vague threats.
In Coeur d'Alene,
we take everything serious 100% of the time.
Nate Peterson works as Lake City High School's student resource officer. He showed us how the people behind these threats use generic high school names, which creates a ripple effect on multiple schools across the country.
With the ability to share information on social media, that someone will see a post about Lake City. They'll assume it's ours, so they'll screenshot that post and then share it with someone that is from Lake City, who then in turn screenshots it and shares, and that information goes out in minutes. We had one earlier this year, and we found out that it was a threat for Lake City in Florida from last year that had already been dealt with.
Peterson, along with Thomas Gandy, the district's safety director, work tirelessly to find the source of these threats when they begin to circulate. In one instance, leading to an arrest out of state.
We worked with the law enforcement agency in that other state to bring that young man in, interview him, and there will be legal consequences even in another state.
That arrest isn't an outlier. The New York Times reported in the 3 weeks that followed the Appalachia High School shooting, more than 700 children and teenagers have been arrested, accused of making these threats. One as young as 10 years old, a 4th grader in Ohio.
It's not a joke. You can't say bomb in an airport, and you can't say shoot in a school. You can't say fire in a theater. Those are things you just have to know.
Campus security has ramped up at schools like Lake City High School, where school safety has a vastly different look than it did even 10 years ago.
We have multiple cameras in every building. We have all kinds of safety measures with entry and exit.
Lockdowns used to happen once a semester. For the Timberwolves, they happen 5 times a year.
It's not a secret. We have lights outside the doors, blue lights. Everyone knows the blue light means, there's a threat. Now, all doors are locked at all times. The perimeter doors are locked at all times.
Can we say it's better than last year?
We've also seen the student resource officer evolve as well.
It used to be a position maybe where people got into it for the schedule or something where they just needed a break from the difficulties of, police work on patrol.
But now, most SROs have police, military, or SWAT backgrounds. They have to be fast acting. In fact, it was an SRO at Shaw Middle School who grabbed a hold of the backpack containing the loaded gun brought by that 12-year-old student. And as you saw throughout, our SROs spend about 99% of their time connecting with students, trying to build trust and help guide them through school. But when that 1% of those emergency situations rear their head, they're well trained and qualified to handle it to keep these kids safe.
Yeah, it's really a lot for them with so many threats. And if students or parents see these threats on their phone or on social media, they say one thing you should not do is share it. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, it seems counterintuitive, right? You want to share it with your friends. That might be your first instinct. But that actually makes it complicated for police because they say when you share it with your friends, they share it with more people, and pretty quickly it becomes hard for police to trace the source and the origin of that threat. They say the best process is when you see that, just report it directly to police or to your SRO, whichever's first.
All right. Really eye-opening stuff, Jordan. Thank you very much.